Good evening, I'm Kim Christensen.
And I'm Kyle Clark. A serial rapist is headed to federal prison for 30 years. He's the man at the center of a 9 News investigation helping expose sexual assaults in the private prisoner transport industry.
A warning, this story does involve sexual assault. It may be difficult for some viewers. Here is 9 News investigator Aaron Adelson reporting from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
He took what was not his to take, and I will never be the same.
At the Albuquerque, New Mexico federal court, a woman who'd had no voice made her words heard.
There is no sentence that this court can give you that will erase the trauma you've caused me.
The woman behind those words asked to be identified only by her initials, TP. In 2019, she was extradited from New Mexico to Delta County. Her guards worked for Inmate Services Corp., ISC, a private prisoner transportation company headquartered in West Memphis, Arkansas. At this gas station outside Albuquerque, while the other guard was inside getting food, Marquet Johnson sexually assaulted TP in the back of the van.
Hard to read.
Attorney Alyssa Kiana read the statement her client, TP, wrote to the court for Johnson's sentencing.
Officer Marquet Johnson had one job, to transport me safely. Instead, the defendant raped me, forcing himself on me and putting a gun to my face.
As the FBI investigated, they learned TP was not alone.
He was a predator, and I was the prey.
Ultimately, the FBI tied Johnson to 15 sexual assaults. A 9 News investigation exposed how Johnson's case is far from isolated and is in fact part of a nationwide failure to provide oversight of the shadowy industry of private companies contracted to transport prisoners.
This collection of private companies often operates with limited accountability or oversight in the shadows of our criminal justice system.
Kristen Clark, Assistant Attorney General of the Justice Department's Civil Rights Division, acknowledged in a videotaped statement what Johnson's case dragged out of the shadows.
This sentence highlights the abuses of this industry.
Calling Johnson's actions unfathomable, federal judge Key Riggs said TP's bravery put an end to his reign of terror.
I hope I've made a difference and believe I've prevented Marquet Johnson from harming more women.
Johnson himself, now the shackled passenger, sentenced to 30 years. In Albuquerque, Aaron Adelson, 9 News.
Today, a jury convicted a former swim coach in Colorado on 3 counts of sexual assault on a child by someone in a position of trust. 2 of those counts included patterns of abuse. John Bieber coached for the Boulder Swimming Club team from 1997 to 2002. That's when he abruptly quit after parents confronted him with allegations of sexual abuse. He left Colorado. He went on to coach in other states until 2022 when 3 victims from Colorado came forward and he was arrested. Bieber was sentenced July 19th.
Denver's trying to convince citizens that it can cut nearly $90 million to pay for migrant services without causing obvious issues. Today, the mayor's office took the plan to City Council, which has been skeptical of how the Johnson administration is paying for its top priorities. The largest budget cuts impact public safety, which is the largest part of Denver's budget. Denver police are cutting nearly $8.5 million. Denver Fires losing $2.5 million. And the Sheriff's Department is making nearly $4 million in cuts. The Department of Transportation and Infrastructure is also losing more than $5 million from its budget. As Denver cuts expenses, some city council members want to see the city also raise revenue.
I don't think it is fair to our residents that we are reducing their services to them when there is an opportunity for us to be doing better at making up some of those dollars in other ways, and we're not.
So not everyone had their budgets cut. The elected clerk and recorder, Paul Lopez, told us on Next several months ago he was not willing to make any budget cuts, so he doesn't have any. The district attorney's office said they were willing to make cuts, but are not in the end.
The city of Denver is running out of space to house people living on the street. The city swept a homeless encampment near the Lama Lincoln Park neighborhood this morning. For the first time in 6 months, the city did not provide housing options to those people, about 150 of them. The mayor's office says they didn't have room. The majority of the more than 1,000 people the Johnston administration has moved into shelters are staying there until they find permanent housing.
It's upsetting because we have nowhere to go. We're all out here, we're like, now where? And the police don't know where we're supposed to go. And so we're just transferring from community to community, terrorizing the place because we don't have anywhere safe we can just go.
Until space frees up at the shelters, the city says it will keep sweeping encampments that it deems a public safety issue.
EXL Energy will be under scrutiny tomorrow as state regulators gather feedback from the public about how EXL preemptively shut off power to some people 10 days ago.
Thousands of people were impacted. 9 News reporter Janelle Finch is in Littleton tonight. And Janelle, you spoke with a business owner who's planning to speak his mind.
Kim and Kyle, that's right. Business here at the Columbine Bar and Restaurant in Littleton is back to normal, but frustrations are still fresh even 10 days after those outages. The state says that 55,000 EXL Energy customers had their power turned off during that windstorm earlier this month. The owner here at the Columbine Bar and Restaurant says he was without electricity for several days. Ken Katzenmeyer says he missed out on business and lost at least $1,000 worth of food. He knows the shutoff was for safety reasons, but he wishes EXL's communication could have been better.
More frustrating than anything. It'd be great if they could sit there and tell you, hey, it's going off here, coming back on then. But I understand that they can't always do that. They don't know what kind of damage they've got out there, what's got to get fixed, but they could relay it.
Now, this is the first time that EXL cut off electricity ahead of extreme weather as opposed to in response to it. Tomorrow, the commission is set to hear from business owners like Ken and other people affected by those outages. That meeting is set to begin tomorrow at 4 p.m. Live in Littleton, Janelle Finch, 9 News.
So we're getting a break from the wind tonight. Another round of rain and snow is about to move in.
So we're in the break right now, Kathy. That's what we're in the break.
Window? Just
We
the
are.
window?
We are. Look at how big this storm is, the one that KUSA. It's massive, right? And there are a lot of states across the U.S. tonight dealing with tornadoes, hail, heavy rain, flooding. I mean, millions of people under tornado watch criteria tonight as our storm system moves into the Midwest and spreads just sort of, wreaking havoc across the nation's heartland tonight. And it's so dangerous to have thunderstorms at night, obviously, and this system is really just kind of getting going. We get a break here in between storm systems, so snow's come to an end, showers have come to an end, the wind has let up. We get a break tomorrow with another storm coming in tomorrow night for a little bit of rain and snow, not a lot. I think you'll notice the drop in temperature. 53 currently in Denver, 50 in Lamar, 60 in Pueblo. The wind's still pretty gusty over some of the higher passes, but much improved over northeastern Colorado. So the high wind warning has canceled out. Red flag warning will be reinstated tomorrow from Colorado Springs down to the Trinidad area. Temperatures this evening will be comfortable, but rain and snow back in the forecast in 24 hours. I'll have those details just ahead.
The demolition of the Return to Nature funeral home in Penrose is now underway. That's the site where 190 bodies were found improperly stored last year.
9 News reporter Ria Jha was there as families gathered today to remember their loved ones.
The EPA has been working nonstop, and as you can see, they've made great progress. What once was a building this morning is now a pile of rubble.
Right, thank you so much.
Before the first break, family members and local officials gathered in a tent in front of the funeral home early this morning to honor the victims. The sight of the building was surreal for many family members like Samantha Naranjo. For her, it was the first time seeing the facility since getting a notification from the FBI that her grandmother was among those mistreated. The Fremont County coroner commended his team's tireless efforts to identify each body, saying they hope that demolition would offer some closure to the victims.
But it wasn't just her bones, it wasn't her ashes, it's her body. Her body was desiccated in this building. I hope I'm doing her proud by being here and representing her, not letting her beautiful self go unnoticed and unrecognized, and that's what I want to remember her as and cherish her as.
The EPA expects demolition to last 10 days. The Fremont County coroner also gave an update of 17 bodies left to identify. Reporting in Penrose, Ria Jha, 9 News.